Join us this evening for our nursing pinning ceremony, a traditional gesture recognizing nurses and their pledge to the profession. I just have a quick remark about nurses. They're special people. And some of the folks on this stage have heard me say this. Some of the folks on this stage, some of you know that my daughter is a nurse. And I say this quite often. Very few professions get to help people when they're the most vulnerable, the most scared, the most difficult decisions having to be made, and they need someone to care for them and care about them. Very few healthcare professionals spend more time with patients than nurses. You are the workhorse. You are the caregiver. You are the provider when people are the most upset and most scared and feeling the most harm. So I congratulate you for being a part of a noble profession, as noble as any, and you get paid well too. So with that being said, congratulations. I look forward to you having great careers helping people. Brooke Tyndall will take over and talk about the process moving forward. Professor?
Good evening, everyone. And on behalf of the nursing faculty, we'd like to welcome you to the pinning ceremony. To our graduates and all the family and friends who held everything together this past year, often before sunrise, coffee in hand, watching someone they love rush out the door in scrubs, we are so glad you're here. Graduates, look around for a second. Take it in. Because not that long ago, there was at least one evening, maybe several, when you sat at a kitchen table at midnight, surrounded by flashcards, whispering drug names to yourself, wondering who thought it was a good idea to make them all sound exactly alike. You survived pharmacology, and you didn't do it alone, because Miss Donna was right there with you, making sure of it. Let's just sit with that. You learned an entire second language, and you came out on the other side able to calculate a dosage faster than most people can calculate a tip. And then there was med-surg, Mr. Butch and Mr. Rich, where you learned that the human body has an almost infinite number of ways to go wrong, and that you would be expected to know all of them in order by Thursday. Med-surg taught you to think on your feet, to prioritize, to look at a whole person and not just a chart. You walked in nervous and walked out the kind of person who notices when something's off before anyone else in the room does. In Med-surg 2, Miss Jennifer took that even further, walking alongside you in the clinical setting, where the textbook meets the bedside and everything got real. You walked in nervous and walked out the kind of person who notices when something's off. And then there was maternal child with Miss Donna again, where you learned about the single most ordinary miracle on earth, the one that happens thousands of times a day and somehow never stops being extraordinary. And then there were those little ones, the pediatric patients who reminded you that courage didn't have a minimum age requirement, and that sometimes the bravest person in the room is the smallest one in the bed. You learn to care for people at the very beginning of their stories. None of you would be here tonight without those people who showed up for you every single time and everything it took to get you to the stage tonight. Miss Donna, who somehow made pharmacology and maternal child feel survivable. Mr. Butch and Mr. Rich, who pushed you to think harder and look closer than you thought you could. And Mrs. Kathy, who was always there when you needed more than an answer, when you needed someone in your corner, or you just needed a mama talk. And Miss Shandy, who had a gift for knowing exactly which morning called for a motivational sticky note waiting for you before an exam. And somehow she was never wrong. They were part cheerleader, part drill sergeant, and often both within the same 5 minutes. So to all of them, we say thank you. Here's what I want you to understand about everything you just survived. All those exams, all those clinicals, all those care plans that seemed long enough to qualify as novels, they weren't just teaching you science. Nursing is built on the science, the anatomy and physiology, the evidence, the precision. But the science is only half of you now. Because here's the thing that we can't put on an exam and measure: the art of nursing. The art is the hand you put on a frightened shoulder. It's knowing when a patient needs information and when they just need someone to sit with them for 30 seconds and not say anything at all. It's noticing that the quiet patient in room 4 hasn't had a visitor all week. It's translating fear into reassurance and pain into comfort 100 times a shift. The science gets you in the door. The art is why people will remember your name for the rest of their lives. You're walking into a world that needs you, genuinely needs you, more than we can say. There are people out there right now who don't know your name yet, who are going to be having one of the hardest days of their life, and you're going to be the one who makes it bearable. You're going to make the world better one patient at a time, one shift at a time, in 1,000 small moments nobody will ever see. That's not a small thing. That's the whole thing. So in a few minutes, when you receive your pin, know that it isn't just a decoration. It's a promise to your patients, to your profession, and to yourselves. Wear it like you earned it, because you did. Graduates, you survived the science. Now go practice the art. Congratulations. We could not be prouder of you.
You nursing grads knew you wouldn't get through the whole night without hearing me talk. Mr. Rich Pinson is going to lead us in the nursing pledge. It maybe seemed a bit dated, but it's very traditional and still very true. So I'd like for the nursing graduates to please stand. You have a copy of the nursing pledge that you've been handed, and repeat the nursing pledge with Mr. Rich. Thank you.
As we repeat this together, I solemnly pledge to faithfully practice my profession of nursing. I will do all in my power to achieve and maintain the highest standards and practice of my profession. I will hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping. I will work with all the healthcare providers in an atmosphere of mutual respect and consideration. I will devote myself to the welfare of patients, families, and communities. I will endeavor to fulfill my rights and privileges as a good citizen, strive to serve as a virtuous role model, and work for social justice. I will promote the health and welfare of the entire community. I will constantly venture to increase my knowledge and skills in nursing and utilize them to the best of my ability. I will passionately seek to nurse those who are ill wherever they may be and whenever they may need. I will safeguard and promote the health and happiness of all
Renisha
people.
Carruthers. Renisha will be escorted and pinned by her daughter. Bethany Fuller. Bethany will be escorted and pinned by husband and sons, Brandon Fuller, Walker, Gabe, and Dakota. Annalena Isaac. Annalena will be escorted and pinned by her husband, Vlad Kudry. Riley Johnson. Riley will be escorted and pinned by sisters and niece, Lacey Johnson, Chancey Johnson, and Renly.
Gotta give that one back.
Malene Phi Burdett. Malene will be escorted and pinned by best friend Rashonda Clark. Allison Clark. Allison will be escorted and pinned by her husband, Darren Patrick. Lacey Denton. Lacey will be escorted and pinned by her boyfriend and daughter, Sean Davis and Paisley. Ashley Flanagan. Ashley will be escorted and pinned by her mother, Francesca D'Angelo. Adriana Herrera Macola. Adriana will be escorted and pinned by her boyfriend, Isaiah Locker. Max Middleton. Max will be escorted and pinned by best friend Danny Reyes. Catherine Neal. Catherine will be escorted by her sons, Bryce and Braden. Joshua White. Joshua will be pinned and escorted by his wife and daughter, Jazz White and Ohana White. Jennifer Zambrano. Jennifer will be escorted and pinned by her fiance, Richard Reed, and her two sons, Noah Johnson and Anthony Starrett.
Thank you all so much for joining us this evening to celebrate you. We appreciate you, and you'll forever hold a place in our hearts. We would like for all the nursing graduates to join us on stage for a group picture. Those memories last forever, huh?